Hi, I'm Stuart. Welcome to my YouTube channel, or welcome back. Thanks for viewing my video. In this video, I give my reading wrap-up for the week of September 21st through September 27th. I completed one book this week, so I'll talk briefly about that book. I read parts of 4 other books, so I'll talk briefly about those 4 books. I'll talk about my reading plans for the upcoming week. I'll talk about the crochet projects I'm working on. I'll talk about the music I listen to, and talk about some other stuff going on in my life too. I'll talk about a video game I've been playing. I'll talk about the music I've been listening to, and I'll probably talk about some other things going on in my life too. The book I completed was They Called Us Enemy by George Takei, Justin Eisinger, Stephen Scott, with Harmony Becket Illustrator and Gilberto Lazcano Illustrator. George Takei is best known for playing Hikaru Sulu on the original Star Trek series. He was the helmsman, and he also was in several of the movies in the Star Trek series, where he eventually was promoted to captain and got his own ship. He is Japanese American. He was born not too long before World War II. This book is a graphic novel memoir. Early in the book, Japan attacked Pearl Harbor. That caused the U.S. government to declare all Japanese Americans as enemy aliens, and they were subjected to prejudice, severe prejudice in some cases, and eventually around 125,000 Japanese Americans from the West Coast were sent to internment camps, which were prison camps. And it just details his experiences in the prison camp and later in life. It goes back and forth in time. I will have a more detailed review for it coming soon. It was a hard to read book, but a very powerful one, and I was happy I read it. I read They Called Us Enemy was the September read for I'm With the Band, a Fable book club monitored by MJ. Read This Life at M-J on here. The first book I read part of is Everyday Crochet, A Complete Beginner's Guide. I will talk about the projects I'm working on from this book when I talk about the crochet projects I'm working on. Kind of the last minute, decided to somewhat informally take part in a readathon. It is the Animal Crossing readathon, which was created and moderated by Stephanie at Stephanie Bookish. I didn't do all the prompts, but as far as books go, I did 3 of them. And the first book I decided to read was Bunny by Mona Awad. It satisfies 2 prompts in the readathon. Mona Awad is a new-to-me author, and that I haven't read from her. I have certainly heard of her. And there was a prompt that the book has to be based in autumn, and since this book is set at the beginning of this book, it is at the start of a fall semester at a small college, that it does go into autumn. All I'll say is that I'm really enjoying the book. I've read the majority of it. This is Editing Stuart. I was editing the video, and I talked about a couple of library books that I had recently borrowed, and I realized that I had not covered over the little barcode that showed the name of my library above it. And although I trust the people that I interact with, I never can know who's looking at my videos. And although it's unlikely that someone learning the town I'm from will cause me a problem, this day and age of people viciously attacking someone for any perceived difference they have or problem, I figured I need to be on the safe side, so this is my re-recording that segments. This week I borrowed Memnock the Devil by Anne Rice from my local library. It's the 5th book in the Vampire Chronicles. I started to read and read a little bit of it. It is a book I'm reading as part of the Vampire Chronicles group. a group that is moderated by Elaine at Cobalt Dragon. And besides myself, there's 3 other members. I will put the members in the description of this video. This is a reread for me. I also need to read Tale of the Body Thief by Anne Rice. Unfortunately, my library did not have it. So I put in an order from bookshop.org to get a copy. As the physical copy was actually a little less than the ebook, I decided to get the physical copy. A book I started and read some of this week is The Curse of Oak Island by Randall Sullivan. The Curse of Oak Island was, and maybe still is, a long-running show on the History Channel. I watched a fair amount of episodes at one time, did enjoy them. This is about, there was discovered in the late 1700s a shaft that went pretty deep, and ever since then people have been trying to find what was the shaft was built for and what was buried down there. And you would think they would have by now, but there's various issues. So when I saw this book at the library, I figured it might be interesting to get a history of the whole, original thoughts on the whole search for it. I did get 3 other library books. I was influenced by Stephanie at Stephanie Bookish, who advised people that they should take out books from their library with some frequency, because library funding depends on how much demand people see. She is in fact a librarian, so she knows. So I decided that what I'm going to do on a monthly basis, I'm going to go take out 4 or 6 books, whatever. I'm unlikely to read them all, but helps the library in my own little way, and I do like going to the library. As far as what I plan to start this week, I said I would start it last week but didn't. Hopefully I will this week. I plan to start Catabasis by R.F. Kuang. It is the September read for Booked and Busy, Fable Book Club, moderated by Jamie at Jamie Falk on here. I won't complete it in time. Unfortunately, I'm continuing to do poorly reaching my book club deadlines, but I'm relaxing a little bit about that. I don't want to make reading something I feel I have to do. So far, though, with one exception, I have read all the book club books. It's just some of them I missed the deadline. For all the book clubs, some of them I missed the deadline, but I've read all of them except one book I decided not to start. I should say, too, that I do plan to finish Bunny and hopefully make a good dent into Memnoch the Devil in the coming week. Now I'm just going to mention the videos I released this week. I released 4 videos. They were my 10 biggest book tag, reading wrap-up for the week ending 9/20/2025, 8 questions for readers, and my review of Hungerstone by Kat Dunn. So the second week in a row where I did release 4 videos. It's now kind of a flexible goal for me. I'm not going to push myself, but I am happy when I am able to release 4 videos. Next, I want to talk about the crochet projects I'm working on. These are both from Everyday Crochet, The Complete Beginner's Guide by June Gilbank. I'm still working on practice squares. This one is fillet squares. It's basically done. I have to weave in the ends and soak and block it, but it is essentially done. And another one I worked on was Ripple, but unfortunately it wasn't going too well, so I do what they call frogging it, took it apart. I know what was going wrong, so I'm going to do it again soon. And I do want to get back doing woobles. I'm partway through one, so I do want to get back doing woobles too. Hopefully by my next wrap-up video I will have completed a wooble and I can show that. As far as video games, I continue to play Bravely Default Flying Fairy HD Remaster. I reach points where I get frustrated, but then the next day I'm able to get past them, so as long as I'm continued overall having fun. I'm going to continue playing it. Probably played about close to 15 hours now. Next I want to talk about the music I'm listening to. This week I mainly listened to Lola Young, Cat's Eye, and Ash Nico. Some other stuff too, because when you're playing on streaming services, they play some songs of your selection and they play similar songs. But those were the main three artists. I did get some band-related merchandise for Fanatics, and one thing I got is this hoodie. It says Blink on it. It's a Blackpink hoodie, and in collaboration with the New York Knicks. And you can see maybe on here, New York Knicks. And also got a cap, also Blackpink. This one, it was in collaboration with the LA Lakers. I'm not necessarily fans of either of those teams, or do I even watch the NBA that much, but I just thought it was cool merchandise. And this is a true snapback, which I like best. I don't like the dad caps that much. Other than that, I walked a couple times at the local mall. I walked once outside. I went out to eat a few times. I watched some WNBA games. They're in their second round. I watched a lot of YouTube videos. Did a fair amount of reading, of course. I would be interested in knowing how your reading week went, what you're reading, what you might recommend, maybe what you might want to warn people away from. If you'd like to let me know, please reply in the comments. Also, music you're listening to, I would be interested in that too. If there's nothing else you would like to comment, please add a basketball emoji. I hope you have a wonderful reading week. I hope you have a wonderful week in general. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a like, please subscribe. Please hit the bell to get notified when I upload future videos.